Hey everyone, so it's like 1:30 in the morning Eastern time. I just got home from the casino, which I was a little surprised. I did not intend to stay that long. Had a great session and I will want to tell you about it. So I'm going to do a little throwing and just keep track of my numbers because I do want to tell you about my experience today. It was pretty interesting and very successful. So I will try to talk a little bit loud so you can hear me when I'm over here. I'm going to change the angle of the camera so that you can see the whole table, hopefully. Let's see. Hopefully that's good for you guys. You can see I've got my practice layout on my dining room table. Sorry. There we go. My little alligator down there. I've got my Amazon box or whatever it is so the dice don't go off the table. And I'm just going to throw a little bit. So today I went down to the Buffalo Creek Casino, as you could tell from the first video, and 213, and I took out from the ATM like $240, and I expected to spend 200 of it playing craps, and I had extra $40 just to play slots and just do whatever. Maybe play craps with it, maybe play slots, maybe do nothing. But ooh, 7. Oh my gosh, this table, I don't know, guys. Anyway, so when I got there, it was a $25 table, and it was a short throw, but a 5. $25 table, and like I said, I'm not a huge, I don't take a big bankroll because money is not easy to come by, but when I got there, my philosophy on that is, if you want them to reduce the amount of the table, you just ask the pit boss. Never be afraid to approach the pit boss at the table, because you're their customer, they're there to serve you. That's a 426, and quite frankly, all they can say is no, right? If they don't want to. But it was like 6:30 in the evening, and the table was already $25. They had 3 tables open, and it was a quarter. And I prefer a $15 table, but I actually prefer a $10 table, but I'll play a 15. And it's a 549. Oops, my 4 back there. So then the pit boss said, well, let me call upstairs and see what they say. And I had seen a couple of the guys that I always throw with down there, and I told them they were complaining a little that the tables were a quarter, and it was only 6:30 on a Friday. And I'm like, well, I'm going to ask to reduce the table limit to 15. And sure enough, when I went over there, this guy Matt, who was the pit boss for that for the 2 craps tables back to back there, he said, well, let me call upstairs and I'll see what they say. And sure enough, he got permission to change it to a $15 table. Now, when I approached the table originally, there was nobody playing on it, and it was a $25 table. I said, nobody's playing here. And it's dumb. It's a 538. And like, it's dumb to have a $25 table with nobody on it. Make it $15 for an hour, and and we can have some fun. So they did. So that was like the first win of the night before I even started. And like I said, it's a hard 4. Don't be afraid to approach the pit boss and ask for really anything. So, I mean, obviously you want to be polite. You don't want to be rude or anything. But, and I'm always polite. So I guess that's the other reason, is that I don't give them a hard time about stuff. 314. 4s are big tonight. So I have done the table. I was playing the light side. I would place the 6 and the 8. I did place a field bet today, which I won, and then I went on the 5 and 9 with that. And it took a little while to get established and to get a rhythm at the table, but there were a couple excellent dealers today that really kept the game moving. And make no mistake, the cadence of the table, that's another 3, 213. The cadence of the table, the speed at which the dealers process bets, pay bets, and set the dice out makes a huge difference. The less talking and the more throwing, the better. It's better for the person who's throwing the dice. It's better for the table. So that's why it's important to practice, so that it's important to practice betting, so that when you go there what you want your bets to be, and what they should pay, because we had new dealers at the table today and they weren't sure. As a matter of fact, I felt bad for the one young lady that was there, because the pit boss was actually doing her job. So that really wasn't very good, because there was a lot of action on that other end of the table, even though there were only three people at the other end, customers. There was a lot of center action. There were a lot of hop bets. This table doesn't have hop bets on it, but they had a lot of hop bets going. And, that's a little bit hard when there's center action, hop bets, and the person wins and then they want to leave their bets up, and, it's just a lot going on. So the easier you can make it for the dealer to move those dice back to the thrower, back to the shooter, the better. So I guess I'll put that under etiquette, and move along. So anyway, we kind of went around the table, 3-4 points and out, and so you're basically holding your own at that point, right? So then this one guy who was over here next to third base. So for people who aren't familiar with craps, the dealer that stands over here by the 4 is considered first base. The stick man or stick person, croupier, is here in the middle on this side. And then third base is over here. So the 3 people work together. This dealer works that side of the table. This dealer works this side of the table, and the croupier makes sure everything gets paid right. They control the dice, and they make sure that all the bets are placed, and then they turn off bets too when the dice are out. So when the dice are out, moving and out, there are no more bets, and whoever the stick person is controls that table. Some places, if they know you, they'll let you do a call bet. Like right now, the dice are out. If I say, $5 on the hard 4, they may or may not take that bet, depending on if the dice are in the air. They will not take the bet. But if the person hasn't actually thrown the dice yet, chances are they will allow that bet. So that's a 5-1-6. So we had a good table going, and then the guy that was over here by third base throwing. So there's a person, this is considered stick right 1. Then you have the hook over here, and then you have the other hook or the person next to third base. Likewise on the other side. So this guy ends up having the throw of his life, and he hit his point 2 or 3 times, but he hit 8 or 10 score hits. And I was down, so I started with 200. You know, I told you that I never really have a big bankroll when I get on the table, and it was a $15 table. Honestly, you should have like $1,500 to bet properly on a $15 table, but that's not my reality, and I enjoy playing craps, so I go with it. But I don't remember if I put that 6 over there, but I'll do that. I might have, I don't know. Anyhow, so this guy goes on a huge roll, and I made back all my money, and I think I made, I have a picture of it. I think I made, in addition, $130 or $140. Plus, actually, no. When I cashed out from that table, because then there were 2 other throwers, including me. So when I had my last throw, I had a pretty good throw, and I cashed out, I think, $425 from that table, because I colored up a couple times. So I had so many red chips in front of me, which are $5 chips, nickels, that I didn't like that. So whenever I had a chance and I accumulated enough money to still have money to continue to play, I colored up hundreds. So I had, when I left that table, I had 3 black chips, and I had 7 green chips and about 3 red chips. So I was pretty good. I was happy with that. And then I had my free play for the slot machines. So I went over to the quarter machine. It's a 325. And I found one that was $1.25. So I used my free play on that. It was $1.25 max bet, 5 credits. And that's what I like to play, just $1.25, $1.75, like that. Oh, another 8. All right. So 5-3. Sorry about that. Oh, 6-1-7. All right. So then, after I was done fooling around with my slot play, I went over and went by the $25 craps table, and the I don't really like playing the $25 craps table because, you know, in order to have a decent bet, at least you have to have 110 inside. And, you know, I'd only won a couple $100, and I didn't really want to take a chance on losing it. So I threw out a quarter, and I bet on the 9, and of course the guy 7'd out. But anyway, then there were some other people there, and I ended up doing a little better. I'm going to have to stop this video because it's almost 15 minutes, and that's the limit. But I really want to tell you about that quarter table because that was interesting, and I won a lot of money on that quarter table after that. So this is YoGirl. It's actually Saturday morning, about 1:30 in the morning, and I'll see you in my next video, which is going to be filmed right after this. Thanks, everyone.